This is a crab that cost over $300, and this is crab that cost just under $3. I'm gonna go ahead, show you each one of these crabs, and tell you which one that I think tastes the best. Now the first one is actually imitation crab meat. Now there is a ton of ingredients in this kind of imitation crab meat. Now the very first ingredient is actually fish, which is pretty common, I guess. But if you read, there actually is some crab in each one of these. Now, we'll say it's only 2%, but for $3, I'm not sure what else to expect. Now, a lot of people use imitation crab meat in different salads, but also, of course, it's popular in a California roll. So I went ahead and got the stick from there. So I'm gonna try the stick today. Now, I actually like these. I think they're a good, like, kind of snack, and they have a good amount of protein in them, too. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. The texture is kind of way different. You can see it's not like a typical crab texture or anything like that. And one of the craziest things is it's almost like, it peels like a cheese stick. There's potato starch throughout these. And the best way I can say, there's a little bit of a seafood taste to it. But it almost tastes like you're eating a potato roll as well. I think that's got to be the potato starch in it. I'm not sure what it is, but honestly, for $3, yes, I've seen the videos of how it's made. Yes, I understand that it's an ultra processed food. Am I eating it all the time? No. But for a snack every once in a while, I actually don't mind this for $3. Now the next one looks like a pretty common crab claw, but it's actually not as common as people think. This is not a stone crab claw. This is a red rock crab claw. Now these are actually from the west coast of the United States, but just like the stone crab fishery, they actually take a claw from each one of the crabs they catch and then throw them back. And it's kind of a sustainable fishery for that reason. Now in the bag that I got from eFish, some were small and some were big, and that's a lot different than when you buy stone crab claws. A lot of times stone crab claws are graded, so if you're gonna get small claws, they're all gonna be small claws. If you're gonna get large, jumbo, colossal, I think are some of the things. And so for $69, this mix of claws I don't think was too bad. Now I got about 10 claws in there. That means it's about $6.90 per crab claw. Now to get to the meat, of course, you gotta break open the crab. You can use many different methods, but I found these claw crackers work really well, especially on these thicker shell crabs like the red rock crab and even the stone crab too. Let's go ahead and give this one a taste. Here we go. At least it's real crab this time. I'm a big fan of claw meat. Like, claw meat is probably one of my favorite bits of a crab or a lobster too. So I'm actually really excited to give this one a try. Let's go ahead. It's super sweet, super salty, super sweet. So much better. So much better. And sweeter than the imitation crab meat. And it also has like a briny taste to it. There's no fishy taste to it. It's like a sweet, meaty taste to it. And it's so much better than that imitation crab meat. So when you're eating claws, what you're actually eating is the meat that's around the tendon in the claw right here. And you can break the claw apart and actually pull it out and pick the meat off of there. I like to treat it like a lollipop though. And just run my teeth along to eat it. And once you get to this point, that's when you can take it apart and get the rest of it. Now the last crab and the most expensive crab is gonna be king crab. I've tried a bunch of different king crabs so far, paying all the way up to $685 for a Norwegian king crab. But today what I have is actually an Alaskan red king crab cluster. So it doesn't have the body, doesn't even have the claws, it's just the legs. And these things were massive. They're called colossals, and I can honestly say I have never seen a crab leg this big ever in my life. Breaking them open wasn't too hard. I was expecting the shell to be a lot more tough, but they're almost like leathery to open up, and getting the meat out of there wasn't too bad, especially when I used scissors. Now you can see just how massive the meat is inside of here, and if it's like other crabs, the bigger the crab, the less sweet the meat is gonna be. So I'm curious. I've had king crab before, like I said. I really like the taste of king crab, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this bigger colossal king crab. So let's go ahead. Let's try this huge piece that I have from that huge leg. Just gonna take a big old bite. I mean, come on. Absolutely the best I've tried today. So this was $300 delivered to my door for that cluster. And there is a ton. I mean, just like, this is just one part of one leg. Each leg weighed a pound. I got 3 of these. I'm going to end up making all types of stuff with it, including like a huge sushi roll and stuff like that. It's just delicious. So in a pinch, yeah, go ahead and go for the imitation crab meat. If you're putting it in a salad, if you're, hiding in a bunch of sushi rice or something like that and make a California roll, sure, go ahead and do it that way. But if you want to taste real crab, skip the crab claws, skip all that stuff, and get some Colossal king crab legs from Cameron Seafood. Well worth every single penny, and one leg is going to feed one person. There's so much meat.